Hey everybody, Lucas here from AirTech Reviews, and today we're doing another vlog. And this time I'm going to be doing 5 reasons why I love driving a decommissioned cop car. Okay, so the first thing I love about owning a Crown Victoria Police Interceptor is that you get respect, but at the same time you can be ridiculed for it, and I'll explain why. So when you're driving a police interceptor, a lot of people assume that you're a cop still, and they're not quite sure what to think about you. So they'll drive the speed limit, and they won't be really rude while driving. This can be a good or bad thing. Like, for example, I'm about going a couple over the speed limit, and this guy is going about the speed limit, maybe 5 over. So a lot of people think that you are a cop car because you're driving the most iconic cop car out there, and it'll vary depending on what kind you own. Yep, this guy, it's 35 and he's going about 37. So pretty much people think you're a cop car and they kind of drive a little bit more cautious around you, which can be a good or bad thing. So most people won't tail you either. I wish I could show you that, but most people don't tail you while you're in these things because, you know, tailing a cop car, not a very good thing. So it kind of just depends on how you see it. It can be a good or a bad thing. Anyways, so second good thing about owning a police interceptor is, it's going to sound weird, but it's the seats. And now let me explain this before anyone kind of jumps the gun and says like, oh yeah, that's not true. During commission, most cop cars have hard plastic seats in the back to not get them damaged by criminals that will go back there, because some of them have knives and stuff on them that can damage the seats. Or another good example, if it's gross, but if they throw up on the seats, if they accidentally pee or do other bodily fluids on the seats, not exactly a good thing to have on, you know, those leather seats or those like cloth seats. So they take those out once they take the hard seats out once the car is decommissioned, and they put back their old seats, the like pleather or cloth, depending on what you have or what they put in for you. So they put in the like fake pleather stuff for me, which, I mean, it's not bad. I like it in there. It looks nice, and because it hasn't been used, it looks fantastic. It doesn't, no one's ever sat on that before, and if they have, it's been very rarely used. So it's something nice to actually have on there. But anyways, that's why I love it. Also, the front seats, in my personal opinion, they're some of the nicest and most comfortable seats you will ever ride in. And I hear what a lot of you are saying. How can you have really nice seats in an old cop car? There's nothing that special about it, and for the most part they're actually pretty cheap cars. Like, you can pick up a Crown Victoria for like what, 2 to 4 grand, even cheaper. Like, I found one for 1.5 grand the other day. So you can find these things for extremely cheap, and it's no surprise people think, well, it's cheap, the quality is probably pretty junk on it. So for the most part they're thinking that it's not good seats. These seats are extremely comfortable because most of the time, first off, the standard seats are really nice as it is, but they needed seats that were super comfortable because officers will be sitting on patrol for hours on end. I want to say, like, depending on how long their shifts are and when they take breaks and stuff, because some of them, they like take their breaks in their cars, so they're not getting out for a very long time, like maybe even like 6-hour shifts, 6 to 8 hour shifts, just sitting here. So they don't want any uncomfortable seats to just be sitting in. That's just gonna hurt their back, make them super uncomfortable. For the most part, just suck. So they have extremely soft padded seats, and they're very large, so you don't have to worry about sitting in like uncomfortable small seats like some other cars have. So that's one plus of having a full-size sedan, because then you can actually fit those nice large seats in there. Anyways, so third reason why I love owning a Crown Victoria Police Interceptor is its engine. Now, once again, I hear what a lot of you are probably saying. It's a full-size American car. Its engine isn't that big, even though it is a V8. It's only a 4.6 liter V8, which is on the small size for V8s, because heck, there's some V6s that have larger engines. But for the most part, it's a very nice engine, and with the right modifications to it, which I'll be getting on that in a little bit, with the right modifications, this thing can sound awesome. Like, I got this thing, this Crown Victoria's exhaust upgraded, so that way it sounds awesome when you actually are revving it and stuff. Because, you know, if you have a V8, you gotta show it off a little bit sometimes. You gotta show off your V8 sometimes, so that way, you know, you can have some fun with it. Like, I'll show you when we get moving, if you can hear my exhaust, that you'll be able to hear how well it actually sounds. Because even though it is a small V8, it's still a V8. It still has that nice low rumble that people enjoy. So just keep that in mind with getting one of these, because overall the engines aren't even that bad. This thing's pretty quick, obviously not as quick as a lot of other cars, but with the right modifications, you can make these things pretty quick. So the engine itself is a good base model to actually have, and I'll have you guys listen to this thing when I start out. Kind of hard to hear, but for the most part, with a straight piped exhaust, this thing sounds like a fun, mean car. Instead of just having, you know, your basic SUV or like your basic sedan that, you know, it's pretty quiet. Because this thing has huge mufflers that are pretty heavy too, that you just want to cut those things off. I know it sounds stupid, but trust me, it sounds so nice. Like, we're going to be passing a bridge up here, and I'll kind of have you guys hear how nice this exhaust is and how loud it can actually be. I know not everyone wants a loud exhaust, but for me personally and a lot of other people, they like that loud exhaust. So I'll have you guys listen to how loud this exhaust is in like a bridge and stuff, because that's the best way to hear it. So here it is. See, I don't know how well that's gonna sound, but to me, it just sounds so nice, and it's just nice, a nice clean sound to have. But anyways, fourth reason why I love this, it kind of goes with what I was saying before. These things are super easy to modify. And what I mean by that is that you can go super cheap with it, or you can go really expensive and put performance parts in there. So like, for example, on this thing, you can put some nice flow masters on there, or you can straight pipe it like I did, and it will still sound fantastic no matter what you do. Because like I said, it's a pretty good car to modify because of the stuff it already has in it. It has a nice large like radiator and stuff, so it won't overheat super easily like some other cars that you need to, like, if you put any other like performance parts in there to increase its horsepower, it might overheat. With this, because it's so large, you won't have to worry about that. So that's one less thing you actually have to worry about as the driver of the car, as its parts and stuff are so durable that you don't have to worry about accidentally like breaking them with putting performance parts in, because this car can handle it. Because the weight of it helps make it so it's not pushing as hard. I know this probably isn't the best way to describe it. It's probably not even right, because I don't know 100% about cars, but from what I've seen, they last. The parts are really good on it, and because it's heavier, in my personal opinion, it's not pushing as hard as some other cars. Like I said, I could be completely wrong about that, and you can leave that in the comments. But because it's heavier and it's got a smaller engine, it sounds weird, but, well, it's not actually a small engine, because a lot of full-size sedans have like V6s. So for having a V8 in a large sedan, or a full-size sedan, like American sedan, these things are well built to actually handle all that extra parts and all that extra power that you can put into it. So that's why I like this, because I plan on putting a bunch of extra performance parts in it to make it run better and just make it faster and more of a meaner car. And in my personal opinion, it'll just be a fun car to have and just drive around with being able to put those performance parts in there to make it your own car. So my number 5 reason, or my 5th reason I guess you'd say, for wanting to own a Crown Victoria Police Interceptor is, I've already said it, but is V8 rear wheel drive. So I didn't really get into it that much, but owning a V8 rear wheel drive car, it is just fun. And it's so affordable to do too. This is probably one of the most affordable rear wheel drive V8s that you can find out there. Cause like I said, you can find these things for under $2,000 if you're really looking. I mean, it might not be in the best condition, but it's still a rear wheel V8 car. So I have had so much fun in this thing. Like, I have done plenty of messing around with this thing. I've had more fun in this thing than some of my other cars, or some of my other buddies' cars that have V6s and stuff. And I'm not saying V6s are bad, but in a big American car that is so heavy in the front and is, like I keep saying, rear wheel drive, you can have so much fun in this thing. Like, spinning tires is not a problem, drifting around corners is not a problem, and overall, it's just really nice to have, because then you don't really have to worry about anything. Like, it sounds stupid, but I have had so many nice drifts in this thing, and so many nice like burnouts and wheel spins and everything, that it's not ridiculous where people are scared of it, but more surprised that it can have that potential. Like, I'll kind of show you what I mean. So just gunning it in this thing, it just sounds fun. And overall, it's pretty entertaining to mess around in, because you can't really say that having a rear-wheel drive car that has a V8 in it, that has around, it's not even that slow of a car, it has like around 235 horsepower. You can't say that that is not something fun to mess around in, especially if you're looking for a first car. In my opinion, this is an awesome first car. This is actually my first car that I got. It's a 2011 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. It's the most fun I've ever had in a car. I've driven some other cars that are compacts. I've driven some other cheap, affordable cars that people have as their first cars, and they're just not as much fun. Crown Victorias, you have fun for so many reasons. But anyways, that's my 5 reasons why Crown Victoria is awesome and why you should definitely own one, because overall, it's a fun car to have. You can do so much with it, and it's so customizable, and at the same time, you don't even need to customize it that much if you want to have fun with it, because I will be uploading videos later showing you guys why it is so much fun to have it. And if you guys like this kind of video, kind of talk about cars and stuff, leave it in the comments section below. But anyways, that's it for this video, guys. If you guys liked it, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.